Hi everyone. So I've been using iPhone 15 Pro from the very first day it was released, and after using this phone for over a month, I've decided that this is going to be my last Pro. Before I explain why, I'm going to talk about the experience with this phone. I have the natural titanium color, which I absolutely love. I always go for black colors, but this time I wanted to try something new, and I'm glad I decided to go with this color. The photos and videos don't really do the justice how this phone looks in real life, and it matches the color of my Apple Watch Ultra. And I would only go for lighter color because the titanium can scratch easily, and if you're using the darker color, you might be able to see the real titanium color underneath. The titanium makes it the most lighter Pro phone Apple has ever made, and this is the most comfortable phone because of this rounded edges after the 11 Pro, or you can say 10s. And if you're coming from 12 Pro and after that, you're going to love this phone. This is a delight to hold, and I don't even need to put a case on it. The only physical difference from past iPhones is going to be the new action button. You can customize a certain action or a shortcut, but I kept it on silent because I'm used to it. After using it for a while, I actually like it. The vibration feedback lets you know if you're switching to silent or removing it. I don't really need to check because it is super clicky, and I wanted to switch to camera mode, but the placement of the camera button is really odd, so I switched back to silent mode. The display is more or less the same as the last year except the bezels are shrunk. Otherwise, it is the same LTPO panel that supports always on display. The slimmer bezel do make it look great, but it's not the reason to upgrade from an older phone. But otherwise, it's a great display with good color reproduction, and it's great for multimedia consumption. Now the build and the processor have gotten a lot of heat, pun intended. A lot of people complained about that the phone is overheating. I did not face it from the very first day, but after a month when I was traveling and I was in airplane mode, I was watching an offline video on YouTube and this phone got really hot that I had to turn it off. And after that, nothing. So I think that there are certain conditions where it actually makes it overheats, but after I think upgrading to 17.0.3 and now 17.1.1, I did not face this issue and I have not seen people complaining about it. So maybe it's fixed, but I've seen one instance, so I can say it was there, but I'm not sure like if people are still facing this. So if you are some of them, please let me know in the comment box. I've been using this phone for past 1.5 months every day and took a lot of pictures, videos and watched a lot of media. Sure, it gets warm, but it's nothing unusual. It used to happen with my 14 Pro as well and even with my friend's 13 Pro. But otherwise, it's a really powerful phone and you can actually play AAA games on it. I don't do that, so I'm not gonna comment on it, but you can watch other videos if you want to play game on your phone. Apart from that, the battery life is good, but it's not great because I think the 13 Pro has set our expectation really high. And after that, I was a bit disappointed with 14 Pro, and now with 15 Pro, it's kind of similar. But 14 Pro over the period of time has gotten better. I mean, even the same processor on iPhone 15 is performing much better. I can easily get around 8 to 10 hours from iPhone 15, but I can get like 6 to 7 hours depending upon if I'm using it on 5G or at home on Wi-Fi. So the phone is good. It can last you one day and it's better than a lot of Android phone in the similar size, but my expectations are a little bit higher. So hopefully with time this will improve as well. But none of the reasons I mentioned are the main areas of improvement, and to be honest, is not a reason to upgrade. But if there is one reason that this is one of the best iPhone I've ever used, is going to be the cameras, and boy, I love them. This is the first time in last 4 years I feel like I can actually use iPhone cameras. I know they were good, consistent, but the HDR sucked. The skin tones weren't the best. They were behind Samsung in some ways, and Pixel used to kill them when it comes to pictures. But now I actually prefer them over any other cameras right now. The 24 megapixel sample was a huge move from iPhone and it is so detailed. It has also reduced the over sharpening of the pictures, which made them more clean. Even the 2x works great because of that 48 megapixel sensor. You can choose between multiple focal length and they come in handy with many scenarios where you don't want to manually zoom between 1 or 2x. If that wasn't enough, Apple went all out with the video by providing the log format and gave you an option to record directly on SSD or a faster card. You can also use a third-party app called Blackmagic Camera, which also has an option to record Apple log in H.265, which actually going to save you a lot of space, and you can actually record 4K 60 frames per second on your phone itself. And did I mention the iPhone 15 Pro has now USB-C port? But all of that aside, I still think this is going to be my last Pro phone. And the reason is I don't really like how they are priced in my country. I mean, the price difference between the base model and the 15 Pro is over $600. And the reason I went with 14 Pro last year because I wanted the matte texture back. I wanted to try that new dynamic island and I wanted to see like how much that promotion is going to make the difference. I regretted that purchase. If I knew iPhone 15 was going to feel this better, I wouldn't have gone for the iPhone 15 Pro. But now I have it and I don't want to sell it because it's going to be a huge loss. But I've decided not to upgrade to at least 16 Pro, and I'm hoping by the time of iPhone 17 you will have promotion on the base model itself. And I've also gotten the Apple Care, so I'm going to use it for at least 2 years, but I think I can use it for more than that. See, there is nothing wrong with iPhone 15 Pro. In fact, I love this phone and I'm going to use it for a long time. But I think it's really expensive in many countries and not viable for a lot of people who are not going to use those Pro features. My friend uses 15 Pro on low power mode, which actually brings down the refresh rate to under 60 Hz. Can't tell the difference. He doesn't use the raw pictures. He is never going to use the ProRes recording and edit it on a machine. So for a lot of people, this is more or less like getting the best phone. Also, just getting that telephoto lens, which I think you don't need in most scenarios because the 48 megapixel is really good that even if you crop it for 2x or a little bit more than that, it can still give you great shots. So, do let me know if you actually use all the Pro features. And if you're not, do you really want the Pro phone? My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.